Welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, welcome everybody to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Kush. Can we fix this sign real quick? Why don't we just, which side do I gotta go up? This side's gotta go up? There we go. Oh yeah. Much straighter. Welcome everybody to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm Dr. Kush. We are here live. It looks like we're almost live on Kick. We are definitely live on Twitch. We are definitely live on Facebook. Oh, lanterns are on. Why did Kyle yell lanterns? The lanterns are on. Oh, just one lantern isn't on. Well, that one's dead. Shut up, Kyle. Okay. We are here. We are live on 3 out of the 5 things we try to go live on, which is a really, really good start. If you are overwatching on Kick, you're clearly having some issues. We're just gonna, well, we'll let it go. It doesn't matter. We have switched our entire process for how to go live. We used to use a program called Restream.io. It turns out bad. It did not work for us. So, and it was expensive. It's kind of an expensive program. I think, you know, when you start out for what I need it for, it's like $500 a year, which is way too expensive. Turns out the people on the internet really did a great thing, and they did it for free. So now we're free. This is what we are doing for free. So the one thing that was keeping us from doing this for free for a long time was, I think it's important that everybody gets to see their little name pop up on the screen. And so we are going to do that. Let's see if this works. Let's check real quick on if... Oh, dang. Okay, well, we're going to have to... So apparently they disappear after a while. We're going to fix that. Let me say hello real quick to Bonbon. Look at that. It works. Bonbon. Jen, is this your picture on Medusa Siren's post? It was. Oh, gosh. And then it just disappears. Now, how do I get rid of that? Uh-oh. Okay. It's only showing me a few of the messages. I can't go back and look at more of them. We're going to fix that. So don't type so fast, everybody. Let me say hello to our good friend, Shani Bannebaker. Good evening. Let me say hello to our good friend, Tiki Tom. I am not sure I've heard of tonight's cocktail. Ooh, you're going to like this one. This is a really fun one. One of the guys whose book this shows up in, I don't think we've talked about it on the show for a long time, or maybe ever. One of my favorite names. I love that these weird bartender guys had awesome names. We'll get into it here in just a second. Let me say hello to our good friend Kyle Tender. Thirsty Thursday to everybody. I'm really sorry, guys. If you type, I won't be able to get back to your old comments. I'm going to figure out how to put as many comments on this thing as I possibly can. But for right now, if I'm all the way at the top, and every time somebody puts something in there, they disappear. Let me say hello to, did I already say hello to Tiki Tom? Made a Kingston Mule? Yeah, I did say hello to Tiki Tom. So 70 Husband is here. He's a winner of the 2024 Kushtucky Derby. Yes. Davey Virtue is here. Hello, Davey Virtue. We are still at 2,125 subscribers. That is 125 subscribers more than when Davey Virtue joined our little group. Oh, Moose is here. Did I say we're learning a whole new system, guys. So if I'm repeating everybody's name, it's because I can't see who I've said hello to and what I haven't said hello to. Kyle yelled lanterns at me. It's only one lantern that's out. So lantern would have been the much better way to say that. Just lantern. That was Jen in Medusa Sirens thing. Oh, let me say hello to Dr. Taco MD. Yes, we are live on Twitch currently. If you prefer to watch on Twitch, Dr. Taco, you can watch on Twitch. And Dr. Taco, you can comment over on Twitch. And it'll just show up right here, and I'll be able to put you right here. Like, if you said, are you streaming on Twitch as well? I am. I'm streaming on Twitch as well. Look up Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks over on Twitch. You can find me there. Bonbon loves free. I love free as well. So that means no more VIP lounge or Fernet shots. Okay. I think this is something that our community needs to talk about. I love those. So for right now, the program that I was using was the restream in order to do after the VIP room and the Fern Core shots afterwards, as well as bring on guests. Now, we are not going to get rid of bringing on guests. We are not going to get rid of the VIP room, and we are not going to get rid of the final shots at the end of the night where I bring everybody on screen. We are going to have to restructure them. And before I sat down and did hours and hours of work on figuring out what to do, on how to restructure, I thought maybe we would see if this even works. So after that, we're going to go through, I think we're going to go through something called VDO Ninja. Get it? It's clever. VDO Ninja. And we will have a room with a code. So there will be a code that you'll have to be able to get into the room to say hello. That's seeing what that's seeming like what it's going to be right now, because OBS that I'm using right now does not mean that option. Dr. Taco MD is not seeing us on Twitch. We are live on Twitch currently. I can see that we are. Maybe Kush Tender? It might be Kush Tender. Let me bring up my Twitch chat real quick. This has to stay up here. Let me see. Nope, we're Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks on Twitch. So hopefully we're still there. Dr. Taco, let me know if you find it. We'd love to have Dr. Taco over hanging out on Twitch, keeping the robots to themselves. Okay. So let's just put that in our show notes. We need to have more, we need to be able to see more chats. Okay, we said hello to everybody. We've done all that stuff. We've talked about the show. What else do we need to do? Any more keeping? Any more stuff keeping? This is going to drive me crazy. We're going to stop what we're doing on Kick, in case anybody finds us on Kick and then decides that they hate us because it's stopping. Okay. I didn't know if this is going to work, so I didn't find a cocktail that I had any particular love for. This is a very nice cocktail. It's a very interesting cocktail. It is kind of one of those cocktails that's... if we look at cocktails as a mathematics equation, eventually we were going to land on this cocktail. This is not some mind-boggling brand new concept for how cocktails work. Just give me 1 second. Let me make sure that everybody's still chatting. Okay, good. I don't know if the chat has stopped. I think maybe you guys are not interested or something. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Yes, thank you. This is not some sort of mind-boggling cocktail. This is not a cocktail where suddenly you're like, oh my God, what is even happening? What is even happening with this cocktail? How did they even come up with these flavors? They came up with them the same way they come up with all these things. They took an existing cocktail and they just sort of expanded it out a little bit. In this case, they took a daisy and they just sort of switched a few things in and out. They called it the Cotillion. Why do they call it the Cotillion? I don't know. I don't know. The more important thing about this cocktail, the Cotillion's, it's a fine name. I'm sure what happened was, some dude took his daughter to a cotillion. I don't know how cotillions work, but I assume some family had a cotillion daughter, and he was also kind of into drink. So he's like, I don't know, put everything in there, and then suddenly you have this cocktail. They called it, what are you going to call it? Where are we heading to? Cotillion. It's called a Cotillion. Okay, John, get over it. Dang it, Dr. Taco. Dr. Taco, I believe if you go down into... Just one second. I'm talking to Dr. Taco for a second. Dr. Taco, I believe if you go down into the description of the YouTube video, there is a link to my Twitch page, I think. Anyway, if we figure out exactly how cocktails are made and how they're expanded, this was not some sort of surprise. What is kind of a fun thing is one of the people that wrote about this, he wrote about it in a book called the Stork Club Bar Book. Stork Club Bar Book. This was not a man that was known for cocktails. In fact, he only had one cocktail book, and that cocktail book, in fact, was called the Stork Club Bar Book. This was a man into trains. I, myself, am not into trains, but I have friends that are very into trains. There is no, like, passing love of trains. You are either into trains. You either freaking love trains. You know everything about the train. You wait to hear the specific toot-toots of a particular train, or you do not care about trains at all. I'm in the second half. This guy was in the first half. He wrote his whole life he wrote about trains, except for one book. He wrote a couple of histories, but except for one book on the Stork Club Bar Book, where this one comes up. And I just want to say, I just appreciate names. I just appreciate, maybe I am to names what other people are I'm to names what other people are to trains. His name was Lucius Beebe. Now, stop it. I need you to stop it right now. Your name is Lucius Beebe? Looks like Luscious Baby? Lucius, Lucius or Luscious. Beebe. B-E-E-B-E. Maybe Luscious Beebe. Stop it with that name. I love that name. Anyway, he ended up, he was born in like the 1906-ish time, right around in that era. Died in the 60s. Married a dude, and this sounds perfect, who was also into trains. So these two dudes just married each other. I don't know if they married each other, but they were definitely together, super into it, into each other. But more importantly, because it's crazy that they're both into trains, they could just sit around and talk about trains all day. Now listen, I love my wife, but there is nothing that interests me like to that extent that she is also interested in. It's vice versa. There's nothing that she is super interested in that she can talk to me all day about, and I will never get bored. There's nothing I can talk to her about all day without her absolutely wanting to strangle me. However, Lucius Beebe did have that. But my wife does not love. My wife likes liquor. Fine, she'll drink a drink or two, but she does not care about the connection between Lucius Beebe and the trains. She does not care about that. I find that interesting and will talk about that for forever. These two dudes, they just got married and they talk about trains for the rest of their lives. And you know what? That kind of love. My goodness. Anyway, we're going to be making a cocktail called the Cotillion the Cotillion, not the Cotillion called the Cotillion. Spectacular, easy type of cocktail. Not mind-boggling in any way on how we got here, but it is fun to sort of see how cocktails are built. And I wanted to do this on a day when there was a possibility that none of this would work. Has anybody, just real quick, has anybody checked to see if this is working on Facebook? I wonder. Can somebody check and see if this is working on Facebook? I'm nervous that Dr. Taco cannot find this on Twitch. I'm very nervous that maybe Facebook is not going on. Bonbon loves the dialogue. Good. Thank you, Bonbon. Pop on over. Don't see it on Facebook. Okay, well, maybe we celebrated too soon. It doesn't matter. I didn't see it on Twitch, and I live on Twitch, says Dr. MD, or Dr. Taco MD. Shoot. Okay. This might not be working yet. Start all. Okay. We're going to keep working on it. Let's get into this one. We're splitting our base. That is always fun to do, but is not always necessary to do. We're going to be splitting our base with two different things. What we're going to be basically doing is raiding our liquor cabinet. We're getting rid of just a couple bottles that we have. We're going to get rid of some of this Old Forester. You need to come this way. Oh my gosh, we're so close to the edge. We're going to find this Old Forester. right here, and we're going to get rid of some of this aged rum. I assume that's how a lot of cocktails are made. In fact, that's how a lot of my cocktails are made. I figure out what I have left and throw everything right into a bit of a pot. And we go from there. Okay. Second, no Facebook. Okay. Dang. It's not on my page. It's not on like Kush Tender Cushman. Okay. We'll figure it out. Anyway, start over here. Grab some of this. It's called a whiskey. We've all heard of whiskey. We like whiskey. Oh, we all like whiskey. I assume we all have at least a passing appreciation for whiskey. This is our Old Forester. Still learning. This is our Old Forester. It's 100 proof. Love it. We need a full ounce of some whiskey. What whiskey, you ask? I don't care. Honestly, find one that you like, or even better yet, find one that you don't have much left in. That's what we want. We want about, let's call it an ounce. We need an ounce of some whiskey. Uh-oh. We're going to have to do something crazy. We're going to have to split that base. Split that whiskey base even. Okay. Give me a second. I'm being driven crazy right now by a doinking in my ear. Oh, there it is. Way better. Okay. Every time I was switching scenes. Okay, just real quick. I do want to say that we were, at least for a moment, live on Kick. Because this funny guy here was on Kick. So that's fun. We were for a moment on Kick. I don't think we are anymore. Drop this up there. More work to do. Next thing we got to do is get our rum going. We want to pull off a little rum heist. This is just an aged rum with very little rum left. We're trying to clean off some bottles back here. Eventually, we're going to have to replenish all these bottles. But we can't do it until we kill the first bottles. There are sober people in poor countries, probably in Canada. Probably there are sober people in Canada. That's why we don't waste any of the whiskey or rum or liquor here. We don't want to. When people are suffering with their sobriety, we don't want to just throw this stuff away. Go ahead and throw in 3/4 of an ounce of some aged rum. Honestly, I really enjoy Black Barrel, but I prefer the old price. Yes. Montgay has gotten increasingly expensive. I don't know why. I think, I'm not going to take all the blame for it, but I do think bartenders like myself, for a while, in order to push rum upon people, we would say things like this. We would look people in the eye and we'd say, did you know that a rum has the oldest distillery in the whole world? You know how old you think Scotch is, how old you think anything else is? It's actually the oldest distillery in the whole world is a rum. And for people that were way into aging things, you know, longer the better, whiskey people, they would always say, oh my goodness, well, I as a person that only thinks that good things come in old packages, I myself need to try this. And thus I think they ran out and bought a bunch of that rum, and now, because it is the oldest rum that there is, they bought it up, and that's a supply and demand issue. I did not take, despite what my grandmother continuously told me to do, I did not take a single business class in college, and I really, at this point, really should have. I went to the University of Southern California. The Marshall School is there. That's a pretty good one. I didn't do any of that stuff. All right, we've sliced this lemon in half, although it may not look like it, and if we do a little clever editing, it will look like I just ripped this lemon in half. Ready? Should we do it again? Oh, let's do it on this one. I don't know if I'm kidding. I have no time for editing. This is a lemon. Lemons are simple. They're not even, they're just natural little, I'm stuck between two sizes of squeezer, and that one just didn't work. So we're gonna go ahead here. We're just gonna put our lemon in our little squeezer here. We do this for lemons, not for limes. We're gonna take our thing here. We're gonna find 3/4 of an ounce. We need, get over here. We need 3/4 of an ounce of some lemon juice. Didn't make it. Perfect. 3/4 of an ounce of some lemon juice. We're gonna dump this guy right in here. Hopefully you guys are noticing that I am gonna be stirring this cocktail. It breaks all rules for stirred cocktails. Normally, you know, we don't, it's not important that we stir a cocktail that has this much juice in it, but you can stir any cocktail you want. You can shake any cocktail you want. Just you got to be careful with it. This just seems like such an old cocktail. It's like it feels old. It's like from the 30s, 40s, but it feels old. So we are going to stir it because that's just an older thing to do. This right here is an orange. I did have to purchase this orange. Our orange tree, Kyle, is not producing oranges currently. We have a bunch of green oranges on there, but we don't have anything that is squeezable yet. I did walk around my neighborhood, back at the house. I walked around my neighborhood menacingly holding clippers because there are other people in my neighborhood that do have fruiting orange trees currently. They're just much bigger than Kyle's. And I walked around to see if any of them were hanging in what we call free space. I don't know if anybody else calls it free space, but technically, you know, if it's hanging outside of somebody's yard, if we have an orange tree and it's hanging outside of our yard, you are welcome to all of those oranges. Just don't hop a fence. I did not find any there either, though. Should we rip this one apart too? Got it. Really kind of a fun bit we've created here. We are going to squeeze in 1/2 ounce of some orange juice. Some people call it OJ. I do not. I don't call it OJ. Just call it orange juice. Squeeze it in. I do want to say that this orange juice, or this orange, cost me about 85 cents. And I am not getting almost any juice out of this orange. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is 1/2 of an ounce of orange juice from look how hard I squeezed that. That thing is decimated. It's got cracks in it. I squeeze it so hard. 1/2 an ounce? Kyle, I don't know what you need to do. I don't know who you need to talk to, but I need those oranges grown now. All right? I need you to pick up the pace. I don't know. Maybe we need a pep talk on the tree. Maybe I don't know what we need, Kyle, but something needs to happen because these oranges are out of control. Go ahead and throw in some orange juice. 1/2 an ounce of orange juice. Looking good. And then, here we go. Orange. Sorry, no more singing. What is that? I don't know. I was actually in, let me say hello. Have I said hello to Loriander yet? I don't know. I mean, a legit company called Bonbon that produces candy that even made an amusement card called Bonbon Land. What the hey? We got to take a trip to Bonbon Land. That sounds like a lot of fun. This right here is orange liqueur. We talked earlier about how this was a cocktail that was based on the daisy. This is what makes it a daisy. We know the story about the daisy. Basically, somebody put in a little orange liqueur into a cocktail one point and said, this is fancy. And then because, you know, we didn't have any way of texting each other or even AIMing, we didn't have any way of doing that back in these days, so nobody saw it written down, and you would get drunk with your pals and be like, I'll have a fancy. And they'd say, did you say you have a daisy? He said, no, I'll have a fancy. So I'm pretty sure you said daisy, and that is basically the story of how the daisy come about, in my opinion. All of this is my opinion. This is going to be a fancy version of a cocktail. We're going to go ahead and put in 1/2 an ounce of some delicious, delicious orange liqueur. Feeling real good about that. Visiting Bonbon Land. Yeah, we gotta. I'm gonna need a picture or something. We're gonna need to find a picture of. Oh yeah, isn't it? Do Dr. Taco and Loriander know each other from somewhere? I feel like I'm now remembering that you guys have some sort of weird connection from before this show. We need ice. We always, always, always need ice. So we're gonna get ice. These are just little pieces of clear. Yes, you guys do know each other. Perfect. We're gonna get a little bit of ice. Uh-oh. Now what have I done there? Loriander, I think I made your thing the top comment. I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I did it. Okay. Lots to learn. Lots and lots to learn. All the way up there. Perfect. Okay. We need ice. Obviously, we need ice. So we're going to grab a little bit of ice. This is what we're going to grab. We're just going to throw this right into, pull this back here. Throw this into here. A little extra ice just to keep that one ice. Ice gets lonely. Ice gets sad and lonely. And, you know, salty tears are warm. We don't want these ice crying their salty tears. So we're going to give this a big stir. Oh, yeah, that's a much better shot. Notice, I'm not doing any of this. None of that. Holding it here, 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 and here. Just giving it a nice little stir. Check the temp. A little bit more. Do I have another? Oh, let's check the temp. Don't worry, this one doesn't work. Fix it some other time. We know about what the temp is. Okay, we're gonna grab our little business here, right there, and we are going to grab one of. You don't have to have a julep strainer in order to do this. That's not necessary. It's not the only way to do this, but it is much more fun. This is a julep strainer. It's not just for juleps. In fact, really, juleps don't need a strainer all that much. Julep strainers are more for the actual act of drinking so that you don't get a mint in your teeth. But nobody does that anymore. Now we just take a bunch of ice and slam it down. But before ice was ready to go, we use these julep strainers. That's a fun little piece of trivia. Go ahead and pour this in. Now, if Rich Whiffen was here, or I'm sure any of you, I think all of you can see this right here. It is a little tilted, don't you think? It's a little crooked. Not winning any awards like that. Feels like it's going to slide off this way. Woo! What's wrong with this cocktail? Take a look at it. Take a real deep look into this cocktail. You know what we'll even do? We'll even light it up for you. Give it a big old bright light in it. There we go. Is there a brighter light? There it is. What's wrong with this cocktail? It's pea colored. This cocktail is the color of some, you know, pretty chunky, pretty, you know, thick pea, but certainly it is the color of pea. That is not my favorite color. I've never drank pea myself, but I'm trying to keep that streak alive and well, and so I don't turn to a lot of pea-colored cocktails when I need comfort. Today, we need a little comfort. Yeah, Kyle, chunky pea. Slightly chunky pea. Either way, this right here, a cocktail called the Cotillion. How did it come about? It's basically a descendant of the daisy, which we are not doing daisies currently. We are about to go into the fall of fizz, so I wanted to get out my daisies while I could. It's a descendant of this. Given enough time and enough monkeys, this cocktail would have been created anyway. It was a basic descendant of where it was coming from. But interesting with a mix of bourbon and rum. Let's see how we did. A little sour. A little more sour than I remember. Looks like one of my elders pee that has drunk too little water. Yes, that's exactly what this feels like. It doesn't taste like that. But it is fun. I saw Dr. Cush's birthday bottles. Yeah, birthday was a while ago. Boy, do I not realize how busy I've been. Paul, I promise you, buddy. I swear, Paul, I will be there. I don't know when, but I will be there. We will hang out soon. Tiki Tom's heading out to the Mahiki. Mahiki. Oh, Dr. Taco, we bartending Mahiki. Makahiki. I'm going to be there next year. I'm going to be there next year. That's my plan. Makahiki. Okay. I can't say that this was a rousing success. I certainly can't say that. Yeah, I can't say that I'll definitely that this is definitely a rousing success because it doesn't look like the stream or the Kick stream worked. It does not look like the Twitch stream worked, and it does not appear that the Instagram stream worked. So really what it did was it gave us the YouTube stream. That is not ideal. That's not what we wanted. We wanted more streams, get our name out there more. But to be fair, nobody really watches those other ones either. So that is where we're at with our current level of free software. If anything changes, I will let you guys know. Twitch worked last time. Yeah, Twitch used to work. Doesn't anymore, though. Not this time. Well, this is the very first time we're using this one, Loriander, so we're going to have to figure out this out completely here soon. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. We are... Oh, let's talk about this the rest of the week. What time is it? Oh, I've gone long. I don't have a timer anymore. It used to tell me how long I've been going. I got to figure all this stuff out. Is there a tweet? Let me just while I got you guys here. I mean, if you guys want to leave, now's a great time to leave. Let me see how long. Oh, it does. Oh, oh gosh, it's so small down there. I've been going for 33 minutes. That seems long. I'm using, don't worry about this, guys. I'm using 8.3% of my CPU. I am doing 30 frames per second. I love that. We've dropped a frame. Oh, 0% drop frames. And 10,444 kilobytes. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I got to go through these Twitch things and figure out how many KBs I'm sending. I don't know. Anyway, this weekend on Saturday, I received this week earlier. I received a great package from our good friend Bon Bond, who has an entire land named after her. They are bottles of B.G. Reynolds Tiki stuff. Tiki, there's an orgeat mix. Is there an orgeat mix? No, there's a falernum, a grenadine, there is a Mai Tai mix, and there is like a punch, some sort of punch. We're still doing punches for a minute. We're gonna just make the drinks that are on the side of those bottles. See if they're any good. I think that sounds like a fun time. We're still gonna try and get this stream to work. I think it sounded all right. Did it look all right at least, Kyle? Let me know if it looked all right. I think it looked all right. It doesn't feel like you guys are here because I can't see how many people are here. Okay, good. Kyle says, yep, it looked good. All right. And then we have one more week before we have one more week before we go into the fall of Fizz. So hopefully you guys are interested in fizzes. I have been, this time, instead of just like scrambling to put up whatever fall of fizz drink we were putting in. Sorry. I'm a little distracted with all the numbers that I'm having to learn about. When we did the Summer of Punch, I would just sort of come up with punches, you know, on the spot, basically. I have put together an extensive list of all kinds of very fun fizzes that we'll be getting into. I found one recently that I did not think sounded terrible. and it's one of my favorite celebrity chefs' favorite drinks. So we're gonna get into that, and that's what the Fall of Fizz is gonna be all about. So thank you guys for showing up today. We are going to get this fixed. We are going to get this fixed. It doesn't matter for you guys because most of you are all on YouTube. However, for Dr. Taco, who, just in case you're wondering where he'll be the big bald bartender. Sorry, the big bald bearded ginger bartending outside. You should have said bartender. The big bald bearded ginger bartender outside. I believe if you are bartending, we don't even have to say bartending. If you're bartending, you're a bartender. So just say, I will be the big bald bearded ginger bartender outside. There we go. Oh, DC was here at some point. Hello, DC. DC Clark, winner of the 2023 Kentucky Derby. That's what I got for you. We're going to try and stop all this. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try anyway. Until next time, Saturday, we'll be making B&G Reynolds stuff. Hang out. Just going to see if the soundboard works. It should. But I think it's kind of important that we just, since I'm live right now,
goodbye.
I think that works.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay. As always, guys, what do we always say? We always say, and then we say, sometimes we'll go like this.
Welcome to the jungle.
Finding some fun ones. Yeah, and then as always.
That's all I am. Just a regular human bartender.
How do I get rid of what this thing says? Oh, got to go all the way up here. Okay, we're learning. As always, what do we say?
Yippee!
And yippee to you. Bye-bye. Oh, dang, I can't just push the button anymore? Let's try this again. What do we always say?
So why are we talking to regular human bartender.
If I push them all at the same time. Oh, how many can I push at the same time?
Yeah! Say it!
I can push them at the same time. Well, that's a fun thing to just learn. Until next time, guys.
Oh, shots fired! Oh!
Goodbye.
Why are we talking to regular human bartender.